Something huge is happening in the world of mental health, a major shift. So what if the absolute best support systems weren't designed by clinicians in an office, but by the very people who actually use them? Today, we're going to dive into these consumer-driven initiatives and explore this incredible transformation.
So what's driving all this change? It's something called the lived experience movement. And it's exactly what it sounds like, a massive collective effort led by people who've been there, who have personally navigated the system. And their goal? It's a big one, to completely reshape the entire mental health sector from the inside out.
At its core, this whole movement is built on a really simple, but kind of revolutionary idea, that your personal experience isn't just a story you tell, it's a deep, profound source of knowledge.
This quote really gets to the heart of it. It's all about rethinking what it means to be an expert. For so long, the only experts we really listened to were clinicians. But this movement throws a wrench in that. It argues, pretty convincingly, that the people who've actually lived through these challenges, they have an invaluable, absolutely essential kind of knowledge. Their input isn't just a nice to have, it's critical if we want to build systems that actually work for people.
Okay, so that's the big idea, but how does that actually work in the real world? How does a personal story become a force for real power and real action? Well, it all comes down to fundamentally changing the role that people play in their own care.
I love this way of thinking about it. It perfectly captures the change. It's this move from being a passive patient, just receiving care, to becoming an active architect, someone who's actually designing the systems of support. It's a total flip of the old hierarchy, putting people with lived experience right at the drawing board.
Which, of course, leads to the big question, right? What happens when the architects are the same people who are going to live in the building? What kinds of new, different, maybe better support systems pop up when they're designed by the very people who rely on them? Well, the answer is, you get this amazing creative explosion of human-centered ideas. It's this whole spectrum of initiatives. Let's just run through a few examples so you can see just how diverse this approach really is. First up, you have consumer-run organizations. This is kind of the foundational model. It means that people in charge at every single level are individuals with lived experience. They lead it, they control it, they operate the whole thing. And that's huge because it guarantees the organization's mission stays true to the community it's actually there to serve.
Now, what about when someone's in a real crisis? That's where you get another powerful idea, peer respites. Just imagine a safe, comfortable, home-like place you can go when things get tough. That isn't a hospital. That's a peer respite. It's completely non-clinical, and the support comes from peers, other people who just get it, because they've been there too. It's a true alternative, one that's built on empathy.
And it goes way beyond just crisis care. Take recovery colleges. These are so cool because they just tear down the walls between expert and student. They're these collaborative learning hubs where everyone, people with lived experience, clinical staff, family, friends, everybody learns side by side about recovery and well-being. Recovery isn't just about treatment, it's about life. And that's where clubhouses come in. They're community centers that focus on the whole person. It's not just about therapy sessions, it's about building a life. Clubhouses help members with everything from finding friends and a job to getting housing and education. It's a totally holistic support network.
But what if we could help people before they even hit a crisis point? That's the genius behind warm lines. See, unlike a crisis hotline that you call at your worst moment, a warm line is for when you just need to talk to someone who understands. They're staffed by peers, and they offer that connection and support before things spiral, which makes them a crucial tool for prevention.
So all these amazing local projects, they're not just isolated islands of innovation. They're all pieces of a much bigger puzzle, scaling up from these grassroots efforts into a genuine global movement. And you can kind of see how it all grows, right? It almost always starts small with those local initiatives we just talked about. As they get stronger, they start connecting with each other, forming statewide or even national networks to share what they've learned and advocate for change. And then, eventually, these networks link up across borders, creating this powerful, unified global movement. And going global isn't just for show, it's strategic. The whole point is to unify all these different efforts, to strengthen the connections between them, and to coordinate their work so that the lived experience movement can reach its full, world-changing potential.
So when you put it all together, you realize what we're looking at isn't just a handful of new programs. It's a fundamental change in how we even think about what mental health support is and what it could be.
If you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. The whole movement is built on this radical, powerful idea that lived experience isn't just a story. It's a valid, it's an essential, and it's a powerful form of expertise. And it's an expertise we're finally starting to use to build better systems for everyone.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. What would our world really look like if we fully, truly embrace the idea that the real experts on navigating mental health challenges are the people who've actually done it?